Hey Lab Rats, it's Kendra.
And this is Jessica, and you're listening to
Lucid Lab. It's Lab Reports Day
number 15.
Yes, and we mentioned on last week's episode that today will be a special version because we are catching up after our break and we had so many stories come in and we wanted to use this time to highlight just our listener stories.
Yep, there are a lot of fun ones too, and we just picked it out of the bucket.
We did, and so we're going to skip mini episodes for this time, but we'll be back with some soon, and I think we have an Under the Microscope planned as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just push all of that energy towards those episodes, and we're going to focus on 4 stories today. And I'm going to start with the first episode, which was an email that came to us, and it was titled How an NDE, so near-death experience, changed my life.
It would change mine as well.
Yes, I think it would change anyone's, and I love hearing these kinds of stories. So I was excited when I saw this in the mix because I don't think we've talked about near-death experiences in a while. Hi, Kendra and Jessica. I am finally taking the time to write you ladies a personal story. Your podcast has been a bright spot for my daily 30-minute commute to and from the office. Thank you for all that you are doing to bring your voices to the world. I can only imagine how much it takes to prepare, record, and edit every week on top of your 9 to 5.
Well, thank you, because it is difficult.
It is a struggle.
It is.
But we enjoy it.
We do.
And we'll keep doing it.
Even with the break, I'm like, I'm still not ready. She's like, me either. And I'm like, we're still going to do it. And yes, we will.
We were just talking before we started recording about how we had this 6-week break and we still don't feel caught up.
We're in a good place, but then, for instance, today something just hit me like a wave, and it's something I'm going to have to deal with for a very long time. But that's life.
It's always something. Life,
you know,
right around the corner, there is something new to deal with.
Yep. And I don't see it necessarily as a negative thing, but it's just one more thing on top of another thing on top of another thing. So thank you for appreciating our
journey
efforts. Yeah.
So my story, I have come a long way in the last several years, and I attribute all of it to a profound NDE that I experienced when I was at a very low point in my life.
Well, I'm sorry you went through that, first of all, but sounds like maybe it was for the best.
I hope so. It was 2019 and I was struggling. I was coming out of a 5-year marriage with the man I thought would be my forever partner. I was finishing up my master's in social work, and he had been the breadwinner. It happened in the most cliche of ways. The girl at the office that I had a bad feeling about, the one he told me not to worry about, she was an older married woman with kids.
Oh no.
Yeah, they were hooking up on the side and during work trips. So I left with my cat, Susie.
Oh.
At least you had Susie. And at age 33, moved back in with my parents until I could finish my degree and get a big girl job.
Hey, you know what? I do not judge anyone that moves back in with their parents.
No, not in this day and age.
No, unless you're just really chronic about it and it's a selfish reason and you're not willing to even try.
Yeah.
Then I judge you.
If you're freeloading.
But if you are responsible and you help and they love you and they want you back in, because sometimes that happens too. You know, your parents miss you and they're like, oh, yay, they're moving back in.
I would take my kids back any day. I mean, if they're working and, you know,
right,
trying, like, especially in a situation like this, like their partner did them dirty and they are trying to, you know, get their life together.
I'm just saying that's not a failure in any way. If anything, you're being very smart.
Yes.
You are utilizing your resources in the way that you need to do better.
Get ahead and recover from a curveball that you weren't expecting in life.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Just a few months later, the world would enter the COVID lockdown and I felt even more isolated and depressed. Here I was, stuck with my parents, alone, jobless, and now it seemed the world truly was ending. I couldn't even go out and meet up with friends as an escape. Is this all there was going to be for me?
No, you have Susie.
That's true. The one thing I did have from the marriage was a decent car. It was only a couple of years old and my husband had paid it off for me, so I thought, why not put that to use? It was my one chance to get out of the house. With COVID and me living in a bigger city, I began a gig job as an Instacart shopper and I was making pretty good money. But it put me on the road a lot and I had so much time to just sit there with my thoughts and cry to sad songs on my Spotify. I was not doing well.
Oh no.
I signed up for DoorDash after Instacart had paid so well and began taking shifts later in the evening when I couldn't do the grocery shopping. It was a Friday night around 10 p.m. and I got a pickup request for a large order that was delivering on the outskirts of the city. I would not usually take an order with that much drive time, but the tip money being offered was really high, so I thought, why not? I picked up the food from the Mexican restaurant and began the 12-mile drive. The city quickly turned into a 2-lane dark country road. We lived in a part of Virginia that has some twisty, turny roads, and I love that kind of driving. But as I was coming around one of these sharp curves, I was shocked by 2 headlights coming straight at me. Someone had taken the turn much too fast and was now in my lane coming head on. I had but a split second to react and honestly don't remember anything other than seeing those lights. After the initial panic, everything went black for me, and all I can describe is feeling an inexplicable calmness. This is scary.
It is scary.
Gives me chills thinking about it. When I opened my eyes, I was no longer in my car. Instead, I found myself floating in what seemed like outer space, a starry expanse, at the very corner of time and space itself. There was a small tunnel of radiant light. It was almost blinding, but I couldn't look away for some reason. It felt like it was drawing me in, and as I moved toward the tunnel, I felt no fear whatsoever, just a profound sense of peace. As I moved closer to the light, I looked down and I could see far below me 2 cars crumpled on the side of the road where I had just been. I was fully aware that my body was still down there among the wreckage, but I felt no worry. I had no pain. It was as if I was completely detached now from my life on Earth, and I seemed okay with it all.
This reminds me so much of Alison Botha. She described almost the same kind of experience.
Well, we know from the NDE
episode it's very
that
similar.
There's a lot of similarities. I drifted into the tunnel of light and then quickly emerged through the other side and entered an empty field of indescribable beauty. The air shimmered with golden hues like at sunset. The sky was colors like nothing I had ever seen before, and the green grass beneath my feet felt soft and welcoming. I had this overwhelming feeling that I was finally home and that I never wanted to leave.
Oh, man.
I love these kind of stories.
Me too.
It makes me
I can feel it in my body right now.
Mm-hmm. I was alone at first, but then I noticed from across the field a figure moving towards me, starting out as a silhouette and then emerging right in front of me. I knew her. It was my best friend, Lindsay. We had been inseparable from 6th grade up until the time she heartbreakingly passed away from breast cancer. Life had been unfair, and I had lost my closest friend at only 25 years old. But here she was again. We hugged each other so tightly, I could not believe I was here with her again. And for what felt like an hour, we discussed everything that had happened since she left the world. I felt so seen again, realizing how much I had missed Lindsay's advice and how much I needed her during this time of transition in my life. And then she told me that it was not my time yet to join her in this realm. There was far more for me to experience and complete on Earth. I had to go back. I insisted that I did not want to, and I would much rather stay with her in this place where I felt like nothing could go wrong. But she told me that was not an option right now and that she would be here to greet me when it truly was my time to stay. All of a sudden, I could feel a pull back towards the tunnel I had previously stepped through. I did not want to go back. I began to cry. I told my friend I didn't want to go back to the world where I was now all alone. But I heard her voice whispering in my head as I passed back through the tunnel that I was never alone. She would always be there for me and that I should trust in that. I felt nothing but unconditional love and peace, and it calmed me as I passed back through the tunnel.
I'm emotional. Seriously, I'm like having a moment over here because you never want to feel alone, and you think about everyone that's on the other side or somewhere else, in your corner, your guides or ancestors or everything else, whatever you want to call it. And I love what she just said of, it's not your time. Like, I'll be here.
I'm going nowhere. Yeah.
Go live that. Get over all the other stuff. You have stuff to do. You have things to do. You have stuff to get done and live. And
know that I'm still here in your corner.
Like, it takes the pressure off of, all right, we're all just experiencing this human life. It's not that serious, but like,
but it feels so serious.
It feels so serious because we're so cruel to each other and there's so many bad things happening, but it doesn't need to be rushed and it just needs to be lived and it just needs to be of love.
Exactly. Focus on the important things. And then I felt a pressure as my soul or whatever that was seemed to return to my body. The sounds of the world rushing back. I heard medical staff and devices around me. I was in a hospital. I was badly battered up. multiple broken bones, and a severe concussion, but I was miraculously alive. The doctors were amazed at my survival given the severity of the crash. The other driver sadly did not make it. It was a man in his 40s, and he had not been wearing his seat belt when we collided.
Oh, man.
Police believe he may have fallen asleep or just looked away from the windshield long enough to not anticipate the sharp curve. It was just horrible timing for us both to be coming around the corner at the same time. Or perhaps it was fate, who is to say?
I hope he was asleep.
I hope so, and he didn't feel it. And I hope he went off to a really nice place like you did.
Toes in the grass, and
right.
It was his time.
All I know is that while I now had a long road to recovery from my medical injuries, my body overall felt lighter. My spirits lifted in a way that I had not felt in years. The melancholy that had been a part of my daily life these past several months seemed to be gone and replaced with a new sense of hope for the future. And as I recovered over the next few months and the COVID lockdown finally subsided, I had a new lease on life. I swear this sounds cliche and maybe a bit hokey, but I felt reborn and like I was seeing the world through new eyes, appreciating the beauty in the mundane and finding joy in the simple moments. I began to rebuild my new life, reconnecting with old friends that I had not seen while I was married. I began pursuing new hobbies that I had not been motivated to explore before. I got in shape. I landed a great job once I graduated, and I even began dating again. Since that experience, I think of my friend Lindsay often and the moment I had with her. Was it real? Was it a hallucination of a dying brain? Who can say for sure, but I know for me it felt completely real, and it was a pivotal moment that I needed at that time in my life. My near-death experience completely transformed everything for me, and I can say with 100% certainty now that I have no fear of death. I truly believe the next step in our lives will be a peaceful place filled with love and those who we care for the most. It is the daily struggles of living in this world that is the hard part. Death is the beginning of a new, brighter chapter.
I do believe that. For me, it is the worry of those you leave behind and how they handle your absence.
Especially when you have children.
Honestly, yeah. Death doesn't scare me.
That was always my fear.
How will she handle it?
Exactly. That was always my fear when my children were younger. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why as we get older, death isn't as scary, maybe.
Maybe.
And with that, I will close out my story. Not everyone has the chance to experience what I did to push them out of a dark place and into a better future, but I believe near-death experiences are allowed to happen by the universe so we can share our experiences with others and bring hope. Because of this, I felt drawn to write my story down and send it to you ladies.
Well, I'm honored.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Jessica and Kendra, for giving us a place to share life experiences, stories, and even cautionary tales. Stay lucid, Deanna.
Wow, Deanna, you're very lucid. You've gone beyond what a lot of us have experienced.
It's amazing to hear your story, though. Like this, Jessica said it made her emotional. It made me emotional. I was reading it, so I didn't get to react as much, but I love this story.
Me too.
It makes me feel warm and fuzzy, and
you gave me hope. That was the point.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You did.
And hopefully it resonates with other listeners.
I hope so. Thank you for writing in.
Thank you, and we appreciate you listening.
Yes, very much. Okay, I have the next story. It starts with, appreciate the podcast, girls. I really wish it was this easy to talk to other people in person about deep things. Listening to you two go back and forth on some pretty serious things and the funny things is a breath of fresh air.
Oh, thank you.
It's sad there isn't more of it in real life.
Agreed.
I came upon some of your earlier episodes when you did horoscope and tarot things, and I have a story for you, so I hope you enjoy it.
Okay.
This is called Everything She Said Came True.
Oh.
I didn't go looking for a tarot reading. That's probably the strangest part of it all. I was folding laundry on a Wednesday night, just trying to keep my mind from going down the usual spiral of regrets and what ifs. You know, the kind of thoughts like, should I have stayed longer in that relationship?
Never.
Or am I really meant to be doing this job for the rest of my life?
Probably not.
Mundane thoughts with sharp edges.
Yeah.
I had YouTube on in the background, just letting the algorithm do its thing. Music, then an old video essay on 2000s fashion trends, and then her. A soft chime sounded and a woman's voice floated through my tiny apartment. Calm, melodic, just slightly otherworldly. If you found this reading, she said, it's meant for you.
I see that every day on TikTok.
I was about to skip it, but something in her tone made me pause.
Oh.
She wasn't trying to sell anything. She wasn't even asking me to like or subscribe. She just started. Her setup was simple, 3 decks, 3 crystals. I don't even remember which one I chose. I just let it play. She said the reading would cover the next 30 days, a full cycle. She said, watch this when you're ready. The timing will align when it needs to.
Okay.
And then she started talking. She said I'd receive a message from someone I never expected to hear from again.
Oh.
That this person carried unresolved energy, unfinished business. Then she shifted to something about my work life, said that a stressful but exciting opportunity was coming, that it might look like chaos at first, but it would be the push that I needed. I scoffed at that a little bit. Nothing exciting ever happened in my job. I processed loan applications at a regional bank. Paperwork, spreadsheets, polite small talk, clock out, rinse and repeat. Then she said something strange. You'll see a butterfly out of place at an unusual time. That's your confirmation.
Oh.
I actually laughed at that one. They always say stuff like that.
Yeah. It's always a butterfly.
Exactly. She says, it's the ones that are like an older man in a blue sweater will open a door for you that get me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get really disappointed that it doesn't happen. And then angry that more men aren't opening doors for me.
Truth.
And then she said something that made my stomach twist. There's something you created in a moment of deep pain. A story, a song, maybe just a journal entry. You thought no one would ever see it, but someone is going to, and they'll see you.
That's kind of scary.
I paused the video. I hadn't told anyone, but months earlier, during a depressive fog I thought I might not come out of, I started writing poems.
Oh.
Nothing fancy, just bits and pieces of thoughts strung together with aching honesty. I'd compiled them into a manuscript and submitted it to a tiny independent publisher. Then I forgot all about it. Back in the video, the reader ended with a soft smile. These next 30 days may feel like fiction, but they're real and they are yours. And I didn't think much of it after that. I just chalked it up to another distraction in a long line of digital background noise until things started happening.
Oh, I love this.
Day 3. I was eating cereal on the couch when my phone buzzed. A text from Jeremy. In parentheses, it says, say it in a confused, shocked tone.
So this is obviously someone you were never expecting to hear from.
Sounds like it. I hadn't seen his name on my screen in 2 years. My throat closed instantly. We had met in our late 20s and fell into a mess of a relationship that never quite stabilized. There was intensity, chemistry, but no resolution. We'd broken up 3 times, and each time he'd disappeared more thoroughly.
Ugh.
The last time I told him I loved him and couldn't keep being a question mark in his life, and he vanished. No explanation, no closure. His text was short. Hey, I've been thinking about you. Do you still live near that coffee shop with green chairs?
Ugh.
I stared at it. I didn't reply. Not yet. Day 8. They laid off 9 people at the bank. Our department was hit hard. I was spared, but they offered me a new position, twice the pay, double the responsibility, and none of the predictability. It was exactly what I had said I wanted 6 months ago, and yet when it showed up, it felt like a burden.
Yeah.
That line from the reading echoed back. The opportunity you've been waiting for might come disguised as pressure. I accepted the job. It scared me. I did it anyway.
Money is hard to pass up.
Damn, I hate money though.
I know.
I was literally thinking in bed last night or like the night before. I'm like, it's just this made up fucking
I know.
bullshit. It pisses me off.
It does, but it rules our lives.
Everybody around the world. But it's just
Made up.
made up.
A man-made construct.
I hate it.
Who decided this for us? I can get into spirals at night just thinking about that kind of shit. Like, who decided this is the world we should live in?
When trading wasn't enough.
I guess. And now we are all slaves to money.
I'm trying not to be. I don't think of it that way.
Yeah.
And ever since I have stopped thinking of it that way, it is less pressure.
True. Like, I am making the least amount of money I ever have in my life right now.
And you're okay.
I have no stress. I
know.
am sleeping 8.5 hours a night. I'm not even kidding with this. Like, my cortisol levels are gone and I don't have have a job. I don't know what my future looks like.
You also don't have a man. So I'm going to add that into the mix right now.
I don't. Yeah.
She's just like free of burdens right now.
I
Just
am.
ignore her. She like literally has an entire glow around her body. I'm just still here in the normal life. Anyway.
My kids are grown. They're doing their own thing, I guess. Yeah.
She's
I'm in my
living the
free
life.
era at the moment.
Day 14. I was at the grocery store grabbing pasta and something resembling a vegetable. It was a gray, rainy morning, too cold for anything winged to be out. I turned down aisle 7 and there it was.
A butterfly.
A fucking butterfly.
Oh my God.
Just fluttering near the cereal boxes like it belonged there. A monarch. I froze. She said, out of place at an unusual time.
Yeah, that's
This
real
cereal
unusual.
aisle in a grocery store? Seriously? The universe must have been watching because no one else was in that aisle. It hovered in front of me for a solid 3 seconds and then gently lifted and flew back down the aisle, disappearing near the snack cakes.
It's because we live in the Matrix and it's a simulation.
I know. Did you see it glitch? Right. I whispered, "What the hell?" to
yeah.
no one in particular. Day 21. Jeremy showed up at my door.
Oh God. That could be really bad.
I hadn't responded to his text, but I guess he remembered where he lived. He looked tired, older, like something had cracked open inside him. He stood there with a small paper bag in his hands, coffee, croissants, and a small note. "I'm not here to make excuses," he said. "I just wanted to give you this and say I'm sorry."
Okay.
I let him inside. I don't know why. Maybe because I imagined this moment too many times to let it slip past.
Okay.
We sat at my table in silence for a bit before he started talking. Therapy, childhood stuff, reasons why he pushed people away when they got too close, things I always suspected, but hearing him say them made it feel real. I didn't cry. I just listened. I think that surprised the both of us. I realized in that moment I didn't need him to carry the weight anymore. I had already put it down.
Yep.
Day 28. The email came at 9:47 p.m. I almost didn't check it. I was lying in bed, scrolling aimlessly, half asleep. Subject: your submission, in quotations, burned things that still glow. That was the title of my poetry manuscript, the one I had sent in on a whim.
Okay.
The email said that they loved the voice, the vulnerability, and the dark humor. They wanted to publish it as part of a small experimental poetry series. I sat up straight. I read the email 3 times, heart thudding. The tarot reader's words came back clear and sharp. Something you created in pain will find its audience, and you'll be seen in a way you've never expected.
Wow.
And I had never felt so visible. I lit a candle that night, same as the one in the reader's video. I pulled the video up again, let it play from the beginning, listening to her voice like it was a message from some other plane. I wrote everything down, dates, events, feelings, not just to document it, but to believe it really happened. All of it. Even now, a part of me wants to rationalize it. Coincidence, the power of suggestion, a psychological trick. But no, that wasn't it. It wasn't just that things happened. It was how they happened. The specificness, the timing, the emotional clarity I felt in every moment, like something sacred was unfolding and I had the rare privilege of witnessing it. I still don't fully understand what happened. Maybe it was fate. Maybe the future isn't as fixed as we think. And we just need someone to hold a mirror at the right angle to see it coming. But I do know this. If you ever find yourself folding laundry, half listening to a strange video that gives you goosebumps for no good reason, keep listening. Something might be trying to find you. And I know the outcome might not have been as exciting as you thought it would be, but for me, it was pretty special and a nod from the universe that it's watching. Thank you, ladies. Stay lucid, Millie.
Wow, that was an amazing story, and it makes me want to listen to every TikTok tarot reader that I see now.
No, but that's the problem. We get too sucked into those.
I see too many, but I have heard some that I'm like, wow.
Oh, I know.
Like,
I go through complete entire stretches where
Yeah.
they're like on point.
It's almost scary.
To where that's all you hear.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, the algorithm's not that good because I'm not liking, I mean, we do watch it, but
Yeah.
for the things that don't have the hashtags and all that stuff, how do they know I'm specifically watching something that mentions that? Or
it is.
I don't know. Yeah, it is weird.
I'm sure they are paying some way to get the right people to come to it, or it is
This.
Yeah. You never know. Just like my co-star sometimes is spot the fuck on.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Melly. I actually really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the way you presented that as well.
Yes,
It was fun.
great.
So no wonder why you were accepted for your work.
You're a very good writer, obviously.
And I love the butterfly thing. I've actually been seeing a lot of butterflies at my new house.
Oh, yeah?
I see at least a few monarchs a day
Mm-hmm.
and like little white butterflies. And when you're in the jungle city, that's rare. But now I'm seeing a lot. So
yeah, you're
it's
out
fun.
in more of the country.
And then Kendra was here last night and I caught a dragonfly in my hands.
Yes.
Because she got stuck on my wall and I'm like, you can't be in here, you'll die. And I saved her and I went, whew, and she just flew out the door.
And she was happy. Actually, we opened the door and there was like a huge gust of wind and she kind of got carried away.
She got sucked away.
But I think she's okay.
I think so. But yeah, it's better than being stuck on my stairwell.
Yeah, no
wall.
dragonfly wants to live inside of a house. Well, I feel like the first two stories we've shared have been very inspirational.
They have.
So I'm going to change it up a little bit because this one sounds like it might be a little scary.
Oh, okay.
It is also from an email and it was titled The Thing in the Spare Room.
Oh no, not a doll. Please don't be a doll. Is it a doll?
I don't know.
What is it?
We'll find out. Hello from Oregon.
Oh, hello.
I found your podcast while recently on a road trip back to visit my family in Colorado. I spent my entire childhood in northern Colorado until I moved to the Oregon coast for college, met the love of my life, and have stayed here for the last 15 years.
Oh, wow.
You ladies helped keep me entertained for the 16-hour drive, and I am now fully caught up on your latest episodes.
Oh my God, that's so weird.
What?
I don't know, just thinking of anyone listening to us for an entire
long time.
day.
Yeah.
People
but
do that?
I've done
God,
it.
it's so weird.
I know I've binged other podcasts, but I don't think
I
about
have
us
too,
being
but
binged.
It's the first time my brain has been like, what
People
if
are
someone
listening to
has
us,
only
Jessica?
listened to us for an entire day? That's so weird.
My name is also Jessica.
Hello, Jessica.
So it feels like Kendra is talking directly to me sometimes.
Oh, I mean, that's cute. It's every time you meet someone with your name, you're like, I met another one in the wild.
I know. And my name's kind of more rare. So when I meet another Kendra, I'm like, oh, we're best friends now.
As common as you would think Jessica is, I rarely ever meet another Jessica.
Oh, really?
Ever. Hi, Jessica.
I have quite a story to share with you both and would be so excited if I end up on your podcast.
Here you are.
You're here. I grew up in a nondescript ranch-style house on the edge of Wellington, Colorado. In the early 2000s, the subdivision was still new, acres of blank brown prairie gradually transforming into clusters of nearly identical homes. You could stand in our backyard and watch the empty lots get churned up by bulldozers. They'd lay down streets that ended abruptly in fields of weeds as if civilization itself had gotten tired halfway through the job.
Yep, because they did.
I feel like, especially out where we live now,
I
see that a lot out here.
I've never lived anywhere like this, guys. This is a whole new experience for me.
Funny thing, I rented a house when we first moved to Colorado. I rented a house out in Wellington. So I'm very familiar with that area. And it is a lot like where we are now with just the open
I don't even know
prairies.
where Wellington is.
It's almost to Wyoming. I think it is the last
Oh,
city
you know what? I
in
almost
Colorado
drove all the
before.
way there that one day. I think it's in one of our podcast episodes. I was like coming to you and I just kept driving.
Yeah.
And I was like, where am I?
I worked at the Anheuser-Busch brewery, which is out towards Wellington, and I lived there for a couple of years.
Okay.
So yeah, it is definitely, it feels kind of desolate out there. That unfinished feeling hung over our cul-de-sac. Maybe that's why I always had this sense something was waiting just beyond the reach of the porch lights.
Oh, I don't like that.
When you're young, you chalk it up to your imagination. But when I was 16, the thing in the spare room proved it wasn't all in my head.
I don't like this spare room
I don't know.
mention.
My mom worked overnights as an ER nurse, and my stepdad often traveled for work. That fall, he was in Houston for a 2-week conference. I didn't mind being alone. It was the first time I could pretend like the house was all mine.
No parties.
She was a good 16-year-old.
Aren't Jessica's always good? Damn it. Why can't we be neat?
I had microwaved some bean burritos.
From the gas station?
Probably. I had my textbook sprawled across the coffee table, and I had stayed up late watching movies. That night, a cold front had rolled down from the mountains, and the wind had picked up around 9 p.m. long, hard gusts that rattled the window screens. I had just turned off the TV and was heading down the hall to my bedroom when I heard it, a voice drifting from the closed door of the spare room.
Where is this spare room?
She just said it was down the hallway. She was heading to her bedroom, so I'm guessing in that same hallway. There was a voice drifting from the closed door of the spare room. It sounded like my stepdad.
What?
At first, I didn't catch the words, just the low cadence of a man speaking. The voice rose and fell, punctuated by a little clearing of the throat that he always did when he was nervous. I stopped in the hallway, the hair lifting on the back of my neck.
Yes, because he's supposed to be gone.
Exactly. He's in Houston. I told myself the TV must still be on, that the wind had somehow turned it back to life, but the living room was dark. No voices coming from there. No lights blinking on the stereo. Just the hallway and that closed door with a voice. I should have called my mom. I should have run straight out the front door into the cold night, but curiosity
kills
morbid,
the cat.
right? Morbid, magnetic, it pulled me in closer. My stepdad's voice grew clearer. It said, "Not sure how much longer I can stay." I put my palm flat against the door. The voice stopped. Silence swelled between the drywall, thick as standing water. I held my breath. Then it came again, softer this time, as if he'd turned to face me through the wood. "Jess," it said.
Shh, don't say that. I feel like you're casting a spell on me right now.
My name in his exact voice. "I need you to open the door."
No.
This is giving me chills.
You're not welcome. I rebuke you. You're not here.
Get the fuck out of here. I nearly did. Some instinct in me, the same reflex that answers when someone calls your name in a crowd, reached for the doorknob. But something was wrong with how he had said it. My stepdad never called me Jess. He always used my full name, Jessica, even when he was irritated with me. And he wasn't due back for another week.
That is a big fucking thing, especially Jessica's.
If you're called Jess or not.
Yeah. Jess, Jessie, Jessica. I had grown up with a couple Jessies, so I was never Jessie.
Right.
Jess has always been like this weird reserved thing for people who didn't even know me. Like they would just call me Jess, and I'm like, okay.
I never see you as a
whatever.
Jess. I don't see you as a nickname.
I don't even see myself as Jessica. I'm no name person.
Isn't it funny? Like sometimes it's weird when people say your name.
I know. I'm like, stop saying my name. Stop saying it.
I'm just mom.
I hate saying my name when we start the podcast. This is Jessica. It's so weird saying your own name.
Me and you never say each other's name to each other.
No,
usually.
I don't say
like
Kendra.
I'm not like, "Hi Jessica, good to see you."
Except when you ask me, "What are we doing today, Jessica?"
The only time we say our names directly is when we're recording.
It's just weird.
My hand dropped away. I backed down the hall. As I did, the voice changed. It started to slip, the tone cracking around the edges. "Jess," it croaked again.
No, go away.
But the consonants were off, too rounded, like someone practicing the sounds for the first time.
Ugh.
I ran to my room, slammed the door, and locked it. I pulled the comforter off the bed and wedged it against the gap under the door. For the next hour, I sat cross-legged on the floor, listening to the wind whistling.
I feel like I watched a video like this recently on TikTok.
I don't know, I'm creeped out. Nothing else happened. Eventually, I must have just dozed off. When I woke up, it was dawn. My heart was still hammering, but the house seemed empty again. Pale light leaked around the blinds. I crept into the hallway. The door to the spare room stood ajar.
What?
Maybe 2 inches. I know it had been shut when I left it. I went out of this house. Inside, nothing looked amiss. Just the treadmill my mom never used. A stack of... Isn't that the truth?
We all have one. We all get one and we don't use it.
A stack of Rubbermaid tubs, the big recliner that no one ever sat in. But the air was wrong. Heavier, humid. Like someone had been breathing in there all night.
Go away, devil.
I stepped back and pulled the door closed again. I didn't tell my mom when she got home. I didn't want her to think that I had lost it. Over the next few nights, the voice came back. Sometimes it tried to sound like my mom.
Oh, fuck that.
But
it's a mimic.
I think so. It never got it quite right. The vowels were too long.
Oh my God, I just got chills all the way through my body.
Once it laughed, and the sound made my stomach cramp with dread because it was almost human.
Oh my
Almost.
God. This is actually one of the scarier things.
Mimics scare the fuck out of me.
Yeah, very, 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 very scary.
On the last night, it tried to coax me again. It said, "I'm cold.
Oh, fuck.
Please.
No, go
Please.
away.
Jessica.
No, shut up, Kendra. Stop it.
Just open the
I'm
door.
about to throw my water at you. Stop it.
But I didn't.
Okay.
I waited for sunrise, and the minute my mom came home, I told her everything. She listened in silence, her tired face unreadable.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck do you say?
Then she sighed and said, I've heard it too. Months ago, when we first moved in, it tried to be your father.
Ew.
We never called it a ghost. I think we both sensed it wasn't human enough for that. Later, I read about mimics, entities that wear the voices of the living like a mask, hoping you'll believe them just long enough to let them in. Some people think they're older than any town or house, and that they drift from place to place looking for somewhere to set root.
But more spirity. I guess I've never really looked into it. So it's not an actual body.
Mimics are creepy as fuck. But I think once you let them in, it's like it's almost like inviting in a vampire, and then they don't leave, and they like can do some really fucked up shit. I don't know enough about mimics. Like, this makes me want to look more into it.
Yeah.
That spare room stayed shut until we moved out the following spring.
Yeah, I just like caulk it shut.
Yeah. I never heard the voice again, but sometimes on cold, windy nights, I would dream about it. Always the same dream. I'm standing in the hallway, my hand on the doorknob, with that false voice calling to me in the dark. And I'm just about to open the door.
Oh, no.
And that's where it ends.
Glad you don't live there anymore, Jessica, because we can't have that kind of energy in our lives.
I can't imagine. Like at 16, too. She was a teenager.
I forgot that.
I don't know what I would do.
I am twice your age, and I'm just as scared, so...
I have a spare room in my house.
I have now many, so leave me alone. Many. More than I need. I
have a spare room, and we have to lock it because the cats will go in there. So I know if there's anything in there, they're locked out of the rest of the house at least.
Okay.
Well, thank you for writing in and sharing your creepy ass story with us.
Yes. But now I feel like you just cursed my house.
It's running around in northern Colorado. Like, Wellington is a good, 100 miles from here or something. It's going to be fine.
We're going to have to burn some stuff after this episode, Kendra. I'm not convinced that I didn't just
open up something.
Sucker mimic into my house. Anyway,
that is the thing.
Thank you.
I think that's the thing with mimics is as long as you don't answer them, right? It's when you answer them that they are invited in to your space. So you're supposed to just ignore them.
Well, you just read that whole thing to me, and I was talking to it.
You didn't talk to the creature.
Okay, stop. I'm getting
We're done. Okay.
Freaked out.
Okay, give us a different story now.
Okay. But I think the next one's a cryptid because I chose this one when you did your cryptid. God damn it. We still love you for writing in.
But cryptids don't come in your house.
It's still creepy. So this one's called Eyes in the Pine.
Oh, another creepy one.
I feel like we're just like, I don't know.
We started with
to
the
next house or something.
And now we're just getting into creepy shit.
We're going to the next street. Something else is happening.
Is it in Colorado?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just going to go into it. They say the woods keep their secrets. And after what happened to us out in the Appalachian backcountry, I believe it. I used to laugh at cryptid stories. Bigfoot, Mothman, Goatman. They all sounded like campfire legends. But now, whenever I hear twigs snapping outside my tent, my stomach clenches in a way it never used to.
Uh-oh.
It started on a long weekend in late June. I'd planned a backpacking trip with my friends Matt and Sarah, both seasoned hikers and the kind of people who keep a cool head in the wild. We were doing a wildlife survey for an independent ecological group. Nothing too official, but it gave us a reason to be deep in the forest. The area was remote, untouched, and several miles off the nearest logging road. No signal, no lights, no help.
No, thank you.
We reached our site late Friday afternoon and set up camp in a small clearing surrounded by dense pine and spruce. The canopy was so thick it dulled the sunlight to a greenish glow even at noon.
Yeah, I'm too much of a scaredy cat for this place.
That first evening, we roasted foil dinners over a fire, cracked a few beers, and listened to the cicadas hum while the woods came alive around us. Around midnight, just as we were dousing the fire, Matt froze mid-sentence. "Did you hear that?" he whispered. At first I didn't, but then crack.
Oh.
A heavy step, another.
No.
Whatever it was big and bipedal. Not a deer, not a bear.
Oh my God.
The footsteps stopped just outside our firelight. Matt grabbed his flashlight and swept the tree line. Nothing. but Sarah noticed something on the ground. Tracks, she said, fresh. She crouched near a patch of soft earth and ran her fingers along the impression. These are huge, like,
oh my God,
bigger than a wolf.
It's Bigfoot.
Each print was about 8 inches long, maybe 6 wide, 4 toes, no claws. The gait suggested something upright. We chalked it up to an animal we couldn't identify, but even then, none of us could sleep. Something felt off, like we were being watched.
Yeah.
The next day, we tried to shake it off. We hiked deeper into the forest. No, that's
that'll help.
Leave.
That's not going to help.
Just so you know.
For future reference, maybe don't stay.
We took notes on bird calls and marked a few patches of deer scat. Still, the unease lingered. That night, just as the last bit of light disappeared, things escalated. I had just stepped away from the fire to relieve myself near a downed tree when I heard it.
Oh no.
A growl.
It caught you while you were peeing.
I know. Probably because your scent.
Not cool.
Deep, guttural, not like a coyote or bobcat. It was low, almost. Ew.
No.
I'm just reading ahead.
No. I'm never camping
Wet,
again.
like something breathing through mucus.
Oh God.
I turned slowly, flashlight raised, and that's when I saw them. 2 glowing eyes. Reflecting white in my beam. They weren't up high, maybe 6 or 7 feet, but spaced wide enough apart and slightly angled, and then they blinked.
Oh my God.
Slowly, deliberately, and whatever it was, it moved. The brush shifted violently, and I ran. And I must have screamed because Matt and Sarah were on their feet by the time I got back to camp. Sarah grabbed my arm really tightly. What happened? And I told them, something's out there. It's watching us. It's close. We stayed up the rest of the night, lanterns burning low, speaking only in whispers. Once or twice, we heard movement beyond the camp, like pacing, long steps, but nothing came close again. We decided to leave at first light, but Sarah had other ideas. Sarah is too brave.
Yeah, Sarah. Don't be an overachiever. Come on.
I know. She'd been looking at the topographical map and noticed an old clearing marked less than 2 miles from our site.
Okay.
If there's anything out here, she said, maybe that's where it's headed. Maybe we follow it before we leave.
Why?
Exactly.
I'm out. I'm like, you go be brave on your own. You go die, but I'm going to go back.
We were tired and half scared out of our minds, but something about the mystery pulled us in. Curiosity or maybe stupidity won out. I'm going to call the stupid part.
I'm going to go stupidity. Sorry, I'm on a roll over here.
We packed light and headed to the clearing just after dark, following animal trails through the thick undergrowth. The moon hung low and our flashlights cast long, dancing shadows between the trees. After 40 minutes, the forest opened. The clearing was unnatural, not in shape. It was roughly circular, maybe 40 feet across, but in feeling. The air was wrong, still, not just quiet, but dead. The kind of silence where even insects hold their breath. The ground was packed flat in the center, as if something large had stood there often. Then we heard it again. Snap.
Oh, shit.
Far from the side of the clearing, we turned in unison, and that's when we saw it. A tall, pale figure stood just inside the trees. It was hard to make out at first. Our beams caught only part of it, but the white fur and lean body was unmistakable. It stood on 2 legs, easily 7 feet tall, with long arms and a narrow head. No snout, no tail, just a face, or something like one. It didn't run. It didn't flinch. It tilted its head slightly like it was trying to understand us. I couldn't move. My breath caught in my throat and all I could hear was my own heartbeat. And that's when stupid Sarah, I added stupid, sorry, stepped forward. Do you see that?
Yeah, we all fucking see it, Sarah.
Your friend Sarah. Tell her I love her, but damn it. Matt dropped his bag, the sound making the creature flinch for the first time. It turned its head fully towards us, blinked once, slowly, and then took a single step forward.
Oh my God, it's advancing.
That broke the spell. We ran.
Yeah.
I don't remember the path, just trees and roots and the pounding of my heart in my ears. Behind us, we heard something moving faster than us, heavier, but it never touched us. We didn't stop until we reached camp. We didn't speak until the sun rose. In daylight, we went back to the clearing. Why do you keep going back? I don't understand.
I blame Sarah.
Sarah. God damn it. She's like, I got granola bars in my backpack. What's the problem?
She's like, by the way, I dropped my AirPods back there. Can we go back?
This is wild. I would like a meeting with Sarah. The tracks were there. Huge impressions deep in the earth, spaced farther apart than any human stride. They circled the clearing and disappeared into the woods again. But here's the strange thing. They stopped abruptly in the middle of a patch of moss.
Okay.
No return prints, no drag marks, just gone.
A portal.
We packed up and hiked out in silence, each of us retreating into our thoughts. We never told the wildlife survey crew. What could we say?
They're going to think you're crazy.
You need to tell them that Sarah needs more money and that she needs a real legit crew on her side, not us.
Yeah.
Sarah did some digging when we got back to town. She found reports on forums, Reddit, cryptid blogs, even a few dusty library archives about white-furred, upright figures seen in Appalachia, always described as tall, silent, and intelligent. One guy described the same slow head tilt. Another claimed the creature mimicked human sounds at night.
Ooh, another mimic. Oh, fuck.
There were too many details in common for coincidence. So here I am, almost a year later, still trying to process it. I don't expect people to believe me. Honestly, I wouldn't believe me if it hadn't happened to me. But I'll say this. The woods are older than we are.
True.
And there are places out there where we're not the top of the food chain.
Yes.
Just visitors passing through someone else's territory.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever go hiking in that part of West Virginia and find yourself near a dead silent clearing, don't stick around.
I won't.
And don't go back 5 times, Sarah.
Ever.
Not everything out there wants to stay hidden. And that's my story.
Wow.
I won't be back out there anytime soon.
Nope.
But if you want to look into them for your episodes, I would love to hear it. There is a lot of stuff going on in those woods, more than just our creepy friend. Stay lucid, lovely ladies. Always look forward to Tuesdays. Jacqueline.
Wow, that's crazy. Oh,
Jacqueline.
And Mothman's from West Virginia too. There's some crazy stuff going on in West Virginia. My ex-husband is from West Virginia.
Oh,
and so
interesting.
When we were married, and I've traveled there many, many times, gorgeous state, but it is not one you think about. It's very small.
Yeah.
But it is dense as far as the forest.
Ooh.
And there is so much beauty there, but I could see easily cryptids hiding there because it's not a very developed state. So it makes sense.
Oh, it's not very populated.
There's not very many big cities there. There's a lot of rural areas, and there are a lot of Appalachian tales.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should go.
I would love to go back there. We can go like search for Mothman and stuff.
Can we take my daughter?
Yeah. My kids used to go there every summer because my ex-husband's family owns a large tract of land right on a creek. It's absolutely gorgeous. It is one of the prettiest parts of the U.S. It really is. And a lot of people don't think about it because it's not very developed.
Makes so much sense why it's still beautiful.
Because it's not developed.
We're not there.
Yep, exactly.
And it's still owned by the other creatures of this world.
Thank you, Jacqueline, for writing it.
That was really neat.
Sorry to make fun of your friend, Sarah.
No, I really love Sarah.
It was really just...
She's like, fuck this bullshit. Let's go back.
She's not me because I'm not that brave. I don't know. Maybe I would be in the moment.
I don't know. I kind of picture someone that looks like you as being Sarah. So I don't know. Well, this is a really cool collection of stories.
Yeah, this was fun. We haven't done a full listener tale story in a long time. So this was different.
We hope you enjoyed it.
Yes. And please send in more stories if you want to be included in our next lab reports. We do them about every 6 to 7 weeks.
And you can send those to lucidlabpodcast@gmail.com. And please just love us wherever you find us. Lucid Lab Podcast. We hope you're having a great summer.
And in the meantime,
stay lucid.
Bye, guys.
Don't do anything these people did. Love you. Bye. Well, yeah, not any of them. Don't go die and stuff, but you know.
I don't know. It changed your life. Maybe you should die.
That was wrong advice, Kendra.
Don't do it on purpose.
The universe decides. Anyway, love you. Bye.
Bye.